One of the issues using AI to generate 3D meshes is that the density of the mesh is relatively uniform across the object. So regardless as to where you are on the mesh, it's generally going to be the same density as other areas. Now, if we have textures assigned to our objects, that's not necessarily an issue because the image hides or obfuscates any disparity in the mesh. But if we were wanting to use these for 3D printing, for example, we need detail, we need mesh density detail in important areas. For example, we need it for the head and maybe perhaps the hands and other areas that might need to be detailed in order to be properly 3D printed. So how do we get around this in terms of optimizing a mesh for 3D printing? Because we don't necessarily need to have a lot of detail, mesh density detail on the torso, for example, but we do for the head. A simple way of solving this problem is to use a completely separate object, a separate mesh for the parts that we need the detail for. So in this case, we've got the head, which forms a bust, which constrains the AI's generation to a specific or smaller area. What we then need to do is figure out a way of combining, once we've got, for example, we've got the head and the torso. Once we've got our two objects, we need to figure out a way of combining the two meshes so that we keep the critical elements of one and the critical elements, relatively speaking, of the other, whilst removing the bits that we don't need. A way that we can do that is by using Boolean. We can use a Boolean operation to remove the bits we don't want and keep the bits we do. So, depending on the object, in this case, it's going to be relatively simple because the areas that we want to keep are or can be confined or constrained within a sphere. So depending on what the object is that we're trying to optimize for, we can use different shapes. So in this case, it's going to be a sphere. So all we need to do is add mesh UV sphere. Now, when we're dropping this in, we need to make sure that we are approximating. This doesn't necessarily need to be exact, but we want to, because the next operation obviously is to then join the two together. But we need to keep in mind the density of the mesh. We don't need to get this exact, but we do need to approximate it. So we want to drop in a sphere. In this case, it's a sphere, mesh UV sphere, and we want to make that relatively dense. Let's go with 64. So we're basically doubling up. If we need to modify this after the fact, what we can do, or an alternative to what we were just doing. So let's delete that. An alternative is to mesh, dropping a standard sphere. Let's get it back to its defaults, 32, 16. What we can do is, instead of using the initial properties, we can drop in subdivision surface modifier, disable optimal display so that we can see the mesh. What we can then do is convert this or turn this into display only as a wire, move that into position, increase the density relative to what we potentially need, and then we need to shape or deform the mesh depending on how we want the Boolean to operate on the mesh. And as we're using a sphere, rather than leaving it in its default orientation with the poles top and bottom, we don't want to use this area of the sphere. We want to use this area. So we just need to rotate that so that the poles are orientated, well, in this example, orientated like this, because we want to remove them from the Boolean. We want the uniform, relatively speaking, we want the uniform surfaces move that into place, and we might need to smudge it. So instead of global, we want local because we rotated. Like so. Let's just hide the other head for a moment. So that's our shape, and we can potentially see how that's going to affect the mesh. So we've captured the head inside what will be our Boolean. The next step is to Boolean the mesh. So mesh, add modifier, generate Boolean. Add our Boolean, which is going to be the sphere. Eyedropper, click on that, and it'll remove the head. And we need to keep an eye on how that is interacting with our mesh. If we need to increase the resolution, we can. That's not necessarily going to be needed. So we'll call that the Boolean for the torso. So we then need to repeat the process for the head. So we don't drop in another object. We want to keep the same Boolean because we need to maintain this shape that's been Booleaned from our mesh. So we just need to duplicate this. So select our Boolean, duplicate object, escape just to let that go, move that into place over our head. And we need to position this relative to how that's going to Boolean our object. Select our mesh, add a Boolean to that, generate Boolean, select the head Boolean, and then this time we need to change the orientation essentially of the Boolean. So we're doing intersect because we want to keep the head. So what this ensures, by using the same Boolean control, it means that the join is essentially the same shape for the head and the torso. So all we then need to do is apply, hide the Booleans because we don't need those anymore. Move the head in position, and now begins the long, arduous task of joining bits together. In this case, we need to scale the head up a little bit. So this is one of the things that we do need to be aware of when creating meshes in this way, is that two things. Obviously, this has captured the collar at the back of the shirt, so we have to be aware of our sources wearing the same clothing and or striking the same posture. So if one character is standing abruptly upright and the other is leaning forward, that's going to cause an issue at the join, because the Boolean is going to affect the mesh in slightly different ways relative to those postures. So we have to keep in mind those two considerations, clothing and posture. But once we've got these in place, all we need to do is join those together, Control J, edit mode is now joining those together. So that's the seam that we have to maintain all the way around. But obviously, depending on the density of the meshes or the difference between the two, that may take some time. But once it's done, this may also need to be, so this is the join. We can see the density difference between the two. That's the join. Goes all the way around the head. And some sculpting, easing, smoothing of the mesh may be necessary to get that join relatively smooth between the torso and the head. But the end result is a much more detailed head on a slightly less detailed torso. And for 3D printing in particular, this then means that the head will have much better clarity than the torso. And this will be irrespective of any textures. And obviously, joining two meshes together that use two different materials and textures also means having to correct for UV mapping differences and or material assignments. So there's a bit of work to be done when sorting that out. But when it's all said and done, this is what we end up with. The join at the neck is barely noticeable, and for 3D printing, that's exactly what we want.